album concept hour. The album concept hour. It's the album concept hour. What do you think, John?
No, I think we're doing pretty good. I like the track we're on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, I like how our albums are all a little different.
Man, the Chemical Romance was good.
Yeah.
Really,
That was a nice nostalgia trip for us.
Yeah, we're really
First time I heard that
making
one.
this work.
Yeah,
quite well.
no, I know. That was a real surprise to Dave.
But Brad, I got one question for you for this album.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Can I play with madness?
Well, you know, I mean, I'd be happy to play with some madness, but I think we got to actually record the podcast first. Is that okay?
All right, fine.
All right, well...
I'm
If we
patient.
must.
All right, well, everybody, welcome to the album concept hour. My name is Brad LeBaron. We have Dave Gallagher.
Dave Gallagher.
And we have Jon Aker.
That's what they call me, Johnny A.
And today we're doing Iron Maiden, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. Now, this is my first, like, deep dive into Iron Maiden, like at all. Like, I've heard, like, singles. I've heard, like, people...
The random tracks.
Yeah, I've had, like, friends that are really, like, into Iron Maiden, so I've definitely, like, heard it in the background a lot, but, like...
I've always known the history about, like, the artwork.
Yeah, the artwork is prolific. Like, everyone knows the
You
artwork
see it,
for
you
sure.
know exactly what band.
Yeah. If you don't know anything about Iron Maiden, you know the... What's the name of the guy again?
Eddie.
Eddie. Even if you don't know his name, obviously, like I don't, but you'll recognize him. He's got a recognizable face. Yeah.
And they kind of, like, slightly change a little bit, but depending on the album. But, like, it's,
Yeah.
like, just this undead dude with a screw in his head, like it was cut open, and you...
Yeah. Well, and this is your pick.
That was my pick.
And you were telling me that about like some of the origins of Iron Maiden and, you know, the first couple albums. Like, I think, didn't you say like were they necessarily intending for the guy to be like a continuous thing from day one?
They just had the band set up. I believe, if I should go back again. Wasn't prepared to do this one tonight, but I believe they're all friends or knew of each other in other bands, and like they just wanted to change up, and they had their first lineup for the first two albums.
Yeah.
Steve Harris is the bassist, pretty much the main guy behind a lot of the writing, a lot of the reason Iron Maiden is Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
The original drummer, I believe, was I think it was. I'll come back to it. It's out of my head, but
the
original
we'll
singer was
the wiki, but they changed singers early on.
After
after the first couple,
the first two albums.
Yeah. And then they got the
Bruce.
the kind of, you know, voice
What's his
that
last
we
name?
mostly know
Dickinson.
about.
Is it Dickinson?
It is
It is Bruce Dickinson.
Bruce Dickinson? Nice.
After I get my pants on, I make gold albums.
Right. But this is a very really dynamic.
But his voice is killer. Like one
Yeah.
nickname's you're just like the air raid siren that the guy makes. He's just this heavy, loud, just carries. Just
Yeah. No, I was really surprised by this album for sure. Like the just like how dynamic it was, how interested I was while I was listening to it. I mean,
It's very united.
you never
as well.
get bored with any of their Iron Maiden songs
yeah.
or albums. They're just, they keep you.
Yeah, and I've seen we watched a little bit of a live show, and they're like, you know, they're old dudes, but they're running around. They look really good for their age. Like they're like
Just balls of energy.
Yeah,
Just Bruce just back and forth,
Yeah.
running up ramps, swinging flags,
Swinging that
screaming
flag,
at everyone.
Yeah. I mean, they're I don't know what their regimen is, but it's apparently beer and rocking.
They
so.
keeping it fresh.
But yeah, like even like when they tour now, or all their like they'll, I think they're one of their last ones. They try to hit like every continent and just set up shows everywhere. And like Bruce flies her plane, the Ed Force One. They have a giant. I think it's a 747.
Wait, he flies it.
He
himself?
flies their own plane
for
all their tours.
God. Oh my god,
That's awesome.
That's nuts.
That's awesome.
That's like the life I want to live. You know what I mean? That's like the dream life. Because like I flew planes a little bit when I was younger. I was part of a little program, got like 10 hours or something. But that's one thing I always fantasize about is like, oh man, if I ever have like enough money, I'm gonna like a tiny like airplane, like 2-person airplane, just to, you know, just because.
Why not?
Yeah, just to get the license at least, that'd be cool. But yeah, dude, that's baller. But
That's pretty great.
yeah. Also, while I was setting up for this episode, I realized something that this is actually going to be our 7th album that we are covering. So like this is
Seems fitting.
It's
It's
prolific.
it's very very fitting. We didn't plan it. We didn't plan it that way, but it
At
As a
all.
clairvoyant, I
At
saw it
At
happening.
all.
Yes, the clairvoyant and the prophet got together and they're like, "Yo, you guys need to do it at this point." But
This time and
This
junction.
is the best Rick and Morty shit. This is the
Yeah.
best time and place
Yes.
for this to happen.
And as you can probably guess, it's the 7th album by Iron Maiden as well. So
777.
Studio album.
all over the place. And I believe that the track that we picked really reflects that. I mean, it's the cold intro to the album. So yeah, we'll just we'll start with that, and then we'll get into it. But yeah, this the first album, the first track is called Moonchild.
Adventures into Madness.
Deadly sins, 7 ways to win, 7 holy paths to hell, and your trip begins. 7 downward slopes, 7 bloodied hopes, 7 are your burning fire.
7 your desires.
Yeah, I know. We had to pick the beginning or end of that part, but he does a whole like desires like thing. He like really like but there's a lot of that in this. He's very operatic, as we were saying a little earlier.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. I tell you, I will
Yeah.
never not hear Jack Black
The same.
way ever.
Me
Not
and
after hearing this album.
yeah, me and John like when we were picking the clips had a lot of those moments. We were like, oh my god, this is the part where Jack Black is spoofing. This is another part where Jack Black is spoofing, and like yeah, you can like close your eyes and just imagine Jack Black
I mean, just
You
singing
can tell
most
this is
of
definitely
it.
a band that
Yeah.
is close to him, just bringing out
yeah.
loud
just so much.
personality.
Like even
Yeah.
the way he plays, like he's combining like other elements too. But even the
Yeah,
way he like
yeah.
when he's like playing like all air guitar on anything, he's just
He's always got the Iron Maiden energy
Yes.
to him.
and he really likes to imitate that vocalizing.
Yeah,
He's so
yeah.
good at it.
Yeah,
Years
because
of
he does have a voice that's like pretty close to it. I think he does.
Yes.
He does a
Pretty
No,
unique.
no,
he does a pretty
he
good.
identified.
Yeah,
he identified with Bruce very, very well.
Yeah. We were saying how the movie, the Tenacious D intro part where he's like talking to Dio or whatever is like perfect for him. But anyway, this this first track is like a very much setting the stage in many respects for this
For the whole
epic album.
Damn near an opera.
Yeah, it's loosely, the first track is loosely based on an Aleister Crowley novel that has the same name. But it's got several different novels that inspire it throughout. Just to like reiterate what the seventh son of the seventh son idea is, we looked it up quick before we started this, and it's something that goes back to folklore. It's like it's the seventh son of the seventh son is thought to be like a healer or like some kind of like thing.
It's
with
always
special
gotten an
powers.
important place.
Or
Yeah,
It always
yeah,
has
yeah.
an important place in history in a
Uh-huh.
lot of different cultures.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
is the
It's at least, I mean, the Wikipedia page listed like 4 cultures, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I think it's partially because they're like a fluke, the fact that they're both
it's so rarely
the
happens.
seventh son of
It's one of
someone
those
then
also
has
random
7
anomalies,
kids, because it was assumed that the lower the kid is, the less less important it was, especially back then, with the birthing order and rights and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it's
it's like you said, it was hard for a parent, especially once you had a 7th kid in general. It's harder to find something for them to do, especially if it's 7 sons.
Yeah.
You as a parent in this time period had a obligation to find something for your son to do.
Well, yeah, especially
So,
back
you know,
then, that was probably
the first
a big
couple,
family.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
first couple got like the farm and the land, and and then you're calling in favors that you made across your life to like get a son into like blacksmithery or tanning.
At
or
the end, you're
something
like, well,
that,
I guess you're just a clairvoyant.
And then you
some
got
sort
a
of
7th kid, and you're
Yeah,
really
yeah, that's all
wondering
we-
what you're gonna do with it.
That's all we have left is we only have enough money for clairvoyant school, so that's what you're stuck
This is
with.
what you're
but-
gonna do now.
Aw, Dad.
Oh no, I don't
No,
want to
you
be
get
clairvoyant.
to hunt
I
witches.
don't
You're
wanna
gonna be
the chosen
super
one.
powerful, son.
wanna
I'm gonna be so proud of you. Now go be the best witch hunter you can be. Just ignore all the haters.
Yeah. Well, and this so this track is there's clearly a kind of Job type situation being established where it seems like there's elements of good and evil in the universe that are vying for this.
Polling.
Yeah. They're
They
trying
both
to,
want this guy's soul.
Yeah, they want
It's just
his.
not sure what's gonna happen.
I'm not sure if they want his soul or if they
powers.
want what he can do
do.
to the mortal plane. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah. But it's it talks about fallen angels, Babylon. There's a lot of biblical stuff throughout the album. It's kind of I don't know. It's not like outright like biblical, but it's very much reads like a Bible
It's very
story.
much tied
Parallel.
in. It's very
Yeah.
much tied in.
It's
They
like a
use enough
reverse
terms.
Bible story.
They use enough
Yeah.
terms. Someone had to say it. It's happened
Yeah,
in history
yeah.
a million times.
Mm-hmm. But it sets up a prophecy type of thing. It mentions like when he was
Lucifer.
when he was born. I'm sorry. The prophecy says that like some bad stuff's gonna maybe happen if he's left alive, but also I can't really tell if it's a prophecy or if it's just like the devil trying to influence the mom to it's like, hey,
You never know, man.
I don't know. What do you think?
I
Drive
don't
this
know.
guy. Be a good little guy.
Yeah.
Well, it's again, you look at a baby. That's why human history has so many stories of like avoiding baby killing and kid killing, because you look at a kid, and yes, maybe
it's
they're destined to be the dark, but look at
So
that
innocent.
face.
Yeah.
Can you be the person to send them down that trail? Or like
Yeah.
you kill them and then maybe something worse happens.
Be the mother
You
of
know?
a birth strangled babe, as Iron Maiden says in the song. But yeah,
It's
yeah.
a whole thing. You don't know. We don't know what our choices will always have.
Except for
even in
except for
prophecy,
the seventh
we're
son,
not
the
allowed
seventh
to
son
know.
does. The seventh son does when he gets to the prophecy.
Well, yes. Once he gets old enough, he
Um,
does understand. But that's
Yeah.
why he's chosen. They know he's going to be the one.
Yeah. But so he's they have a cool line in here about like the twins there exhausting. Seventh is the night, Gemini is rising as the red kips kiss to bite. So it's it talks about a lot of like astrology stuff, angels, demons, Gabriel, like Whore of Babylon. It's got everything.
It's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to the whole album. Recommend.
Yeah. This is definitely one of those bands that you want to listen through all the way through, like probably all their albums, I would think.
Start to finish, you'll be
Yeah.
toe tapping, head bopping, you'll be air guitar, and you'll be drumming.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Oh man.
spectrum.
Oh yeah.
We were the entire time.
Yeah. This is a like a really fun album. But yeah. You guys want to get into the next track, see where this story is going?
Let's do it.
Let's follow this kid.
Yeah. So this next track's
Let's
called
see.
Infinite
Next.
Dreams. Oh yeah. Fucking guitar.
That's a great song.
That's the thing. Like throughout this like album, there's all those like we want to highlight a lot of the instrumental stuff
As
in,
well.
in
There's
the
some just killer
tracks we
guitar
picked.
work,
Yeah. Oh,
drumming, there-
all over the place.
masterminds.
Yeah, and it kept on doing that thing where I thought that the song was going to be over, and then like all of a sudden a killer guitar solo just starts, and it's like, oh, okay, this song's got another couple of minutes going.
Easy.
Yeah, yeah,
Just shredding.
yeah. So
Well, one thing we've noticed is that they fill in the spaces beautifully. Even when they take a long break on any of their songs. Even when they take like a long break.
Like every note fits in
just
just perfect. Like everything.
You have a beautiful picture in your head the whole time, I think.
yeah, there's not much filler. You know what I mean? Like you don't really find yourself bored at all. Yeah, it's a good one. And
this one's talking about like his dreams when he's young.
yeah, I was gonna say this is
Like
this is
when he
kind
doesn't
of,
understand.
This is the part that reminds me most probably of Hercules. You know,
Yeah.
like as a babe. Well, I guess probably maybe the Disney version of Hercules. I don't think that
The
story
Disney version
was-
of Hercules was not an actual god. He was a demigod. From the
No, I
start.
know. I'm just saying that I don't think that most of the story was very accurate.
No,
But
it was not.
the version I'm going with my head is
Yes.
the Disney version,
Which is
and,
great. Danny DeVito.
You know, there's Hades and there's Zeus, and like the kid, becomes immortal. So there's the conflict between the gods because they can't interfere that way or whatever, or decided not
They
to.
can get monsters to attack him, but that's about it.
Yeah,
And he can't. And Zeus can't just make him a god.
Yeah,
he's gotta
exactly.
prove
There's like rules or whatever.
There's got to be rules.
stupid
in
rules.
this. So yeah, they're kind of like fighting for what the chosen one will do. You know what I mean? They know that he's special. They know that he.
It's why
is
they can
capable
both
of
send
a lot
him
of stuff,
messages.
Huh?
It's why they can both send him messages.
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess. Is he interacting with these gods yet? Because I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's actually.
I don't think
he's not interacting, but he's a baby.
But he's also
So I'm
seen
saying,
visions.
like in general,
Yeah.
even when you're a baby, or like as
'Cause
you're
you're-
growing up,
Uh-huh.
sometimes you see things, but when you're growing up, you don't understand what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The difference
Yeah,
between
that's true. And then
having
when you're older, you
the difference between
contextualize.
understanding dreams when you're a child is when you're an adult is the understanding in between that you get through life. That's how you interpret what you're. Otherwise, when you're a kid and you see something weird like that, you don't know what you're seeing. You just know you're seeing something.
Yeah. And this kid's seeing the future.
Exactly. So he really does not know what he's seeing.
Yeah. His and it's obviously he's too young to be know how to grapple with all of the dreams that he's having, but yeah, it's the kind of origin story of the kid that doesn't understand what's going on. I think that for Jesus that bit's not really in the Bible, but this is more of a
Jesus
like-
understood a lot more than you.
this
think
is almost
he did.
like Job, Jesus, and Noah all mixed into one. It's got elements of like
all three of their
all
stories.
three of their stories a little bit, because the devils wants to kill him. From it's kind of like Herod.
Well,
and the
the devil-
story is
the-
trying to.
The devil wants to kill him. The devil wants him to be killed for the right reason, like his reasons.
You know what? It's like
That's why he's tempting him.
yeah.
He can't make Jesus do anything, but he can. When Jesus is in the middle of the desert on 30 days, like thirsty like a fucker.
40 days.
40. Well, no, he was in there for 40 days, but like the devil came to him before 40 days was over.
Yeah.
He came to him by like day 20, day 30, when Jesus was like, "Ah,
Yeah.
why are you doing this to me, Dad?"
Yeah. It doesn't really get to that part of Jesus.
No.
So much,
I know. I'm just the.
Yeah, no, it's definitely though, kind of, chosen one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think, Dave?
They're more using his powers and not understanding them as a small kid, like the lines about like one nightmare ends and another one is fertile. Like it's just these visions he can't figure out. They're just one after another, like in his dreams, like these like just horrific things he's constantly seeing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one side or the other. I think it's just that power that he has, just always seeing like the possibility or
He's always known what's gonna happen. He just like I said,
but
it's just
he's
getting
seen so
older.
many.
He can't
Decipher real or fake or what is.
Yeah. He's not yet at a Dr. Manhattan level of awareness of the past and future. He's not comfortable with it.
Just seeing random visions that they're all...
See, I've been rereading this this Rick Riordan series. It's about like ancient like Greek gods and like Roman gods.
That stuff's fun.
Yeah. But like this stuff is like really making me think that like I'm reading it and like, you know, I'm listening to this like the same time, and it really makes me think like, you know, about prophecies and stuff like that. You know, it's really about what you like. It, you know, kids learn stuff and they see stuff as babies and as children, but they don't understand what it means. But it sticks with them sometimes, and those are the kids that like really advance that power later, because that always stuck with them, and they never understood what it meant until they understand what it means.
Yes.
You know,
like my
sorry
dad,
to get
like
so
my
prolific.
dad being a pastor and me being drawn to talking on the mic to people.
Listen to
It's
me.
connected, probably.
It is connected, actually.
My
Very
followers.
much so.
Yeah. But yeah, before we get on to the next one, I really like this line though. Can't be all coincidence. Too many things are evidence. You tell me you're an unbeliever, spiritualist. Well, me, I'm neither. And I feel like that really speaks to his abilities of clairvoyance or whatever. Because I mean, you know, he's surrounded by these people that are, I guess, blindly believing in whatever thing that they are. Whereas he feels like, oh well, I can't do that because I know the future. So
Well, no. He's
can't
saying right now things are happy, fun time, and you're believing me. But for the record, I'm gonna stick to my guns. You know. And
yeah, well, that's what I mean. Well, he can't.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Because he's for him it's I don't know, it's a different thing.
It's a whole
You know.
different thing. He's
seeing the whatever spiritual war is going on at a different level than his peers, which are like, I don't know, Sodom and Gomorrah or something.
a little bit.
Bible talk today.
It's defending. It's all. It's
Man, we should record this on Sunday.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
My
man.
dad's gonna love this
Hey,
episode.
man.
Maybe he'll play for his church.
Bible talk, ancient Greek talk, ancient Roman talk. It's all the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
a different branch of it.
Yeah. But
Gods and wars.
yeah, so I
Human
mean, this is
history.
pretty early on in the story, though. So I mean, he hasn't really developed
still
a
a
whole
kid.
lot. It's just kind of explaining his ideas, and then at the end, he's kind of talking about. He begins talking about reincarnation. So this album is, although it's very heavily kind of, I guess, Judeo-Christian, like monotheistic, like seems to be, you know, God and devil type of stuff. It also talks a bit about reincarnation. So like this isn't like one-to-one like Christian religion album, but it's like melding several different religious ideas into it, I guess.
Also makes it feel like the dreams that he's seen or the nightmares, like it ends and another one begins and it keeps going. Like he's just reincarnated again and seen another story, another
Okay.
vision. Like it's just
Yeah.
like a wheel spinning. Like he's always.
Oh, so like that's how he's perceiving
I think that's how he's-
his spirituality, or what he wouldn't call
He keeps seeing
spirituality.
like these visions that are always changing and happening. And
And
Well,
that's
see-
that's making him also then think that reincarnation is the way.
Well,
or
see,
something.
and to me too, Iron Maiden's mainly a British band, correct?
correct.
Am I correct about that?
Very
Okay,
much
so
yeah.
so
Looking at
think
the
about
can
it.
here.
Think about it. By the time you get to like this point in the British Empire, they're teaching all about like they were the last great European empire, so they know about everything European. They know the whole history of Europe. They know everything, and
Great quote.
by this point, but still, by this point too, they even like had control of like India and all those parts. You know,
Yeah.
the Indian, you know, trade company, whatever the heck that
spice
was.
trade.
Yes. the
Yeah.
spice trade. You know, like. So by
They
this
were
point, they
bad
had so many.
MFers.
There's so
Yeah.
there's so
Fingers
much
everywhere.
concentration in Britain, no matter what.
yeah.
it's kind of like a mini melting pot, just like how we think of the United States.
Well, yeah. Like we are,
You know?
we are currently that empire.
Yes,
and
exactly,
that's,
exactly, and that's part of the reason. But like that's like when this was like really like smolting.
Yeah.
And like these guys, were raised in that smolting period. So by the time like he comes up with these ideas, he's merging those whole different fields of ideas. And it's just
I mean,
amazing.
he's definitely conscious of all those
Yes,
different ideas.
That's what I was
because I mean, I'm sure he's into all sorts of weird shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? This
Absolutely.
is probably
Open to many ideas.
probably light ideas for this guy. You know what I mean? No, I like that he's constructing how this character like thinks and his motivations a bit, and it's all about it's very much a struggle for the soul, in a lot of ways.
It feels very personal to me.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what their personal religious backgrounds are. So
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the album
yeah,
feels.
yeah, for sure. The next track here is hold on, I can't remember the name of the track. Do you guys know the name of this track?
I do not remember. You're gonna have to remind me.
Okay.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I got it.
What?
Can I play with madness?
Yeah, there it is. That's okay. That I thought.
Man, that was on the.
Okay.
I could not remember.
Yeah. This is "Can I Play with Madness," and it's a freaking banger. So here we go.
Can I play with madness? You're such a blind, too blind to see. Listen to me, said the prophet.
I love how he says that at the very end. Said the prophet. I like how like when he like talks things in this album. He's got a really good just talking narrator voice,
Be a guy you like to just read a book out loud, like he just like
Yeah.
the character, like
Yeah.
it's
Very-
small,
it's
like
a
a
very
teacher do all the
outspoken voice.
voices. He just
Oh man, can you imagine like him reading like Lord of the Rings or something? That'd be epic. It'd be so epic. Or singing it even sometimes. Like he just goes off on a riff and sings every now and again if he
Oh
wants.
no, dude! It's just I
So
always
I'd
I
pay
always
for
just
that.
think just imagine him like when you get to the evil parts.
Oh
Or-
yeah,
or
he's
any
talking the
prophecy
Sauron
part.
stuff.
Like
Saruman.
and only one shall hold the ring. Like that
Yeah,
type
dude,
of
yeah,
stuff.
he'd be great at that. But yeah, this is like real, like it's. Well, you were saying this is one of the first times they've used synth, right?
the first album.
This is the first album they used synth in. Yeah, so this is very much this is like maybe the heaviest synth song. I don't know. It could be.
Close.
Yeah,
think probably.
but it's very much, I think, fits in the time period. I don't know, maybe the most because it feels like an '80s song. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Very
I agree.
much so. Probably partially because of the
Heavy
the-
influences.
synth,
synthesizer,
the high
or the
high kind of
80s.
synth. Yeah. But yeah, it's really it's a fun track. I mean, I've gone back to it a lot since we picked out the clips. Yeah, this is kind of when he's like growing up. I think this is like his like imagine the seventh son of the seventh son.
well, I
is
feel
in
like-
high school right now.
And
You know what
I
mean?
feel like
This is him running through. This is his like running through the hallways and like high fiving his best friend. He hasn't been.
Being yelled at by the headmaster.
Yeah, he remembers those weird thoughts that he and memories he used to have, but like they've subsided maybe or.
Well, no, I always feel like this is like you get through that part and then like someone's told him something about his future, and that's why he's going to a person to look through the crystal ball, and it's
A prophet.
and
Well, it
he's
seems
going
to me-
a prophet to
yeah.
see what his future is.
Well, it seems to me like
this is the whole
yeah. Well, I
the
think
whole thing about the song is.
I think the prophet is coming to him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think the prophet.
Okay.
I think what he means by like, can I play with madness is like, can't I just like live and do normal shit. You know,
No,
I want
you're
to do
right.
drugs and like have
'Cause-
groupies and stuff.
Yeah, because the prophet's
know?
coming to him and being like, "You are meant for great things," and he's like, "Well, can't I just like be a kid for a while?"
I don't know if the prophet is good or bad
prophet
force
stared into
though.
his crystal ball.
I'm not sure if he's trying to influence him to do the bad thing that he prophesied, or if he's like,
I think the prophet is more on the good side.
yeah,
But he might be. He also could be impact. Like what do you call that? Like third party system. You know what I mean?
oh he
Yeah,
he
so
says,
the prophet looked and said,
yeah, he says, "Can I play with madness too?" Wait, hold on, is it just him that says? Maybe it is the prophet saying, "Can I play with madness?" I kind of interpreted it
No.
when I was listening to it as the main character. Prophet looked at me.
He said
and
he's
laughed.
too-
No,
he said
the
it's too
way I
blind to
read the
see.
chorus is it's him. Can I play with madness? The prophet stared at his crystal ball, and he's basically telling him no.
Or maybe he's like, "You want to play with madness? I'll show you madness."
Well, yes, he,
You know,
he
like
does
maybe
that,
that's
too.
maybe that's his laughing at him, like he's making fun of the dude that says that he wants to play with madness. You know, he's like, "Oh yeah, you think that you know madness? I know madness." But yeah, he said, "Don't lie." I screamed aloud to the old man. I said, "Don't lie. Don't say you don't know. I say you'll pay for this mischief in this world or the next." He fixed me with the freezing.
Oh, he's trying to outdo the prophet. And then he fixed
Said,
me
"You wanna
with
know the
a
truth,
freezing
son?
glance.
Lord, I'll tell you the truth.
The
Your soul's gonna
hellfire's
burn in a lake of fire."
raged.
You know, I'm starting to think that
Ugh.
like
Whole
the
song.
I think I'm starting to think that the like bad guy or whatever is actually the force of good in the story, and that the main character is actually the antagonist in a way, because like it seems like the
I feel like he might have started out that way, but the way I know the song to end, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's because like he's the one that says that he's the one that tells the main character he's going to burn in a lake of fire. Which
Yeah, well,
I guess if you're raised in the West, you would think that means that him
Oh.
going to hell means that he's gonna do bad. So I don't know. Maybe the other tracks here will add more to our theories here.
Shed
Yeah,
some light
yeah.
on the situation.
We got a few theories.
Turn another page into
Yeah, we got a few theories. We're gonna see how far these theories go. So the next track is called "The Evil That Men Do." Oh hell yeah! Fucking glad we chose that one. That reminds me of a I don't know. It reminds me of like '90s riffs for like
Really?
cartoon shows a little bit.
Okay, because I was gonna say like
Like
that,
I feel like the
that's
Power
definitely-
Rangers and stuff are
That's
kind of trying
definitely
to
very
replicate
'80s
riff.
guitar, but yes, that is
that
definitely
tone and riff.
that is definitely something that was
Yeah.
used and reused in '80s
Uh-huh.
cartoons and '80s like
Yeah,
live animated
Yeah.
TV show, like VR Troopers and shit.
yeah.
like that.
Really heightened the excitement from the get go.
It's a battle. Oh no.
Yeah,
Hey man, Power Rangers, great shit.
I bet.
If
I
you
mean,
ever want to do a special Power Rangers episode, call me.
well, I don't know. If there's a concept album for that.
There is not a concept album for that. I'm
We can
saying,
sit here. We can sit
if
here
we
and
ever
talk
wanna
about
do
the
a
Alacrity
one-shot-
cover for an hour.
If we ever want to do a one-shot Power Rangers thing,
Yeah,
call me.
I can get the Alacrity boys over and we can talk about our experience recording the theme song. Let's not.
Yep.
So this one is. I think it's about him being in love. Maybe. Let me look at the lyrics here. I know it's called "The Evil That Men Do," but it does start with talking about
Love is
love
a
and
razor.
like a woman, I guess, that he is interested in, maybe. Well, I guess it doesn't necessarily say that directly, but I don't know. In the context of the album, you know, it does seem that it's kind of his like stage of life where he's like, you know, again trying
Maybe
to
he's
live out his
regretting
life
the loss of
normal.
love.
Normally, well, yeah, I think he's by the end of the song, he definitely is. But I think that he's like, you know, in the stage of his life where he's like in a serious relationship for the first time or something, and then trying to, or yeah, understanding how painful that can be. You know, it talked about love is a razor, and I walk on the line that the line of that silver blade. So you know, it's talking about, you know, love in a pretty fatalistic kind of way. Which you kind of feel like in your first couple relationships sometimes when stuff hits the fan.
Yeah.
But
Love sucks.
yeah, but then it's got the kind of the evil that men do lives on and on that almost seems to juxtapose it a little bit. So yeah. What do you guys think?
I mean, that line in itself, it's repeated 4 times for a reason, you know.
Yeah, and that the idea is definitely revisited later in another
Absolutely.
line that is really good.
But it's the evil that men do live on and on. Like I was just saying earlier, just
that's
something
true.
that just takes like ages or eons. They sometimes repair. Like just it's there for a long time that everyone can just notice and keep seeing like this shit happen.
That's true. This is where the later track is talking about the evil, but like the evil, the evil live
well, you
forever.
know, it's like.
Whereas this is talking about the evil that they do goes on and on and on, which is a little different than the evil live.
Well, see, I always interpret it like to me the most recent example is because evil always lives on, but evil is evil always. But the evil that lives on for me is like World War II, you know, because that's like we'll always know who Hitler was.
Yeah.
Because that evil will always like be on our minds. We'll always know what happened and why.
Well, yeah, and that that kind of desire for authoritarianism is still a very real thing, especially today in the world. It's on the rise in a lot of places.
Yes.
So it is one of those things. Like, yes, we quelled Hitler, but there are definitely still people that want to oppress other people in the world. You know what I mean? Like, oppression's not done.
And they
yeah. So which is exactly what he's talking about. You know, the evil that men do live on and on and on and on. But yeah, it's I think, is this the first? Did they mention the Book of Life in the first one?
I do not believe so.
Okay, so they mentioned the Book of Life in this one, which they talk about a couple times. It talks about the seventh lamb being slain. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by the seventh lamb, but to me, I was thinking of it as kind of sacrificing his
sacrificial lamb.
Well, sacrificing his happiness, I guess, his love. Like, you know how sacrificing a life with a family or something. You know what I mean?
He's giving it. And for you sci-fi nuts out there, it's like when Agent K gives up his life in
Third Men in Black.
No, that could be it's the second Men in Black. That's when
one?
You find out about the woman that he was on the way in the field with the flowers.
That's right.
You know, and he gave that up to be part of that mission there.
Yeah, and that's a thing that they is definitely, they say about Jesus' story. Supposedly he was he gave up that kind of thing for the
kind of relationship.
Yeah. Although if you look at some of the apocryphas, there's a little,
No one's perfect.
Oh, and it's a quote from Revelation, of course. And Revelation 8:16, if anyone wants to look that up. And when the Lamb had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour.
Wow.
That's real specific. Yeah, so this is coming from the metalist part of the Bible. Easily. Yes. The most metal part of the Bible. If you haven't read
the good part.
If you haven't read Revelation,
With
just read it sometime. It's fucking crazy.
With the ancient creatures and
yeah.
It's very D&D.
Yeah. I personally don't think that they should have added it to the end of the Bible. I think that it was kind of doesn't really fit with the rest of things. I think it should have just been its own thing.
Maybe that's why they put it.
I think
it's
caused a lot of confusion in the Christian religion, but that's a whole other thing. Because like everyone tries to reinterpret a revelation every so many years for their own kind of wishes or whatever. But yeah, it is a really interesting book though, regardless of what year.
It's at the end. It keeps like.
All right. So we're what were you gonna say, Dave? Though
no, we'll take it back.
Well, we're getting about halfway through here, and I'm thinking that maybe we should take a little break before we get on to track 5. We're about halfway through here.
Halfway through.
Yeah. So we will. So we will be right back with the album concept hour. The album concept hour.
And we're back.
Welcome back to the album concept hour. We have empty dart bladders, and we are ready for the second half of this episode. So, before we get on to the first track, I was wondering, Dave, what do you want? What are you drinking today?
What are we
What
drinking?
is Dave
What are we
drinking?
drinking, Dave?
Well, at this point, there's only one option. There's
Yes.
only one thing you
It's
can
true.
drink while listening to an Iron Maiden album.
It's very
And
true.
what does that do?
It's the Robinson's Breweries. I got 2 of their beers. I got the Trooper, which is their ESB, and the Sun and Steel, which is the newer one. It's call it lager, but it's more of a pilsner with sake yeast.
Yeah, is that this one?
Silver one is the
silver
sake.
one's the sake yeast? Oh, wow, this is the one with the sake yeast?
Yep.
Huh.
It's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I didn't taste it at first. It does, like, it's a very, like, smooth lager, but, yeah.
Very
Yeah,
yeasty.
okay.
But,
Yeah.
solid. What do you...
I really
Very
like
crushable.
Yeah, I like both of them. I definitely like this the Trooper a lot. This is definitely my favorite of the two.
The original, the ESB, the English Strong Bitter.
Yeah. It's really, it's very balanced. It's very drinkable, It's not overpowering.
A little bit of hops, nice malt.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the alcohol content is, but
Not
it's like
crazy. I think it's 4.7.
it's pretty smooth.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty light.
That's not bad.
Pretty light.
Yeah, because there some people like to just pump it with as much alcohol content as possible,
And some of those aren't bad.
which is fine.
Sometimes
but
you want a 14,
I
15%
can't-
barley wine or stout.
I can't drink a whole lot of it. Is the thing. I can drink like what you give me to like sip on, but
Gotta man up.
if I drank like a whole thing of one of those, I think I'd be really trashed.
Just a taster.
Yeah.
A couple
but-
ounces.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
want to just try it.
Yeah. So
All right.
yeah, that is what Dave is drinking.
That is
What
what
is
Dave
Dave
is drinking.
What can I know?
All right, so now we are coming up to the halfway point of this album,
The
and
title.
this is the titular track, Seventh Son
Titular.
of a Seventh Son.
Seventh son. He has the power to heal. He has the gift of the second sight. He is the chosen one. So it shall be written. So it shall be done.
I can't listen to that without chuckling a little bit,
We
because like
both had the same reaction, which it sounded like so many of you guys records heard before, right?
yeah, very much so. Like that is of all of the things, that one is just probably the most
Jack Black.
The most Jack Black, yes. It sounds exactly like the song
is
City
Jack
Hall, where they're like
Is-
peeking out our heads. Just like it's It's Jack Black just does such a great idea or great job with it. You know what I mean? So, but no, it is. Yeah, I'm not laughing because it's bad. I'm laughing because Jack Black.
It's so
Yeah.
Jack. Iron Maiden is clearly one of Jack Black's main influences.
Definitely, yeah.
Whether consciously or unconsciously.
Well, that whole thing, he was probably
He's good
he was
at
pretty
it,
young
though.
when that hair metal stuff was
Yes.
happening. I mean, he was like into the, he was seeing big shows, big stage shows.
Big
that
arenas.
Everyone was just like, flames were going everywhere, and friggin' they had big setups that I'm sure several semis had to roll in.
Oh,
and I can
Big
totally
rigs.
see
Yeah.
a young Jack Black at one of those shows,
Uh-huh.
just eyes getting bigger,
Yep.
oh my god, I want to do this when I get older.
Yep.
Watching Iron Maiden, watching probably Judas Priest,
Yeah,
Sabbath,
yeah,
just like
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He was also acting pretty young too.
Mm-hmm.
He was wasn't he on X-Files or something? Wasn't he like a
I don't know. The first
delinquent
movie I
on
remember
X-Files?
seeing him in was Airborne.
Okay, yeah. I remember seeing him pop
Shallow
up in
Hal
some.
gets a gal.
Shallow Hal gets a gal.
Shallow Hal.
But yeah, so this one is about obviously the seventh son, and it's kind of it's similar to the first track in the sense that it's it's almost like narration and story setup and kind of checking in with the narrator, if you will. You know what I mean?
Following up.
Yeah.
Like, here's where we're at right now in this particular story. And
Yes.
our hero.
Yeah.
You are right. He was in an episode of X-Files in '95, by the way.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I was gonna say, yeah, I remember seeing it, and he was like some delinquent or whatever. But yeah, so this is talking about his kind of background, like his father, he await the birth of the son, the seventh, the heavenly, the chosen one.
We're here with the birth from an unbroken line of 7.
Yeah. Wait. Is this was the previous one a seventh son? Hold on. Okay. Is this all about the seventh son of the seventh son? Or is the earlier part about the seventh son and then the later part about the seventh son of the seventh son?
I think the whole thing is just the 7th son.
Okay.
I'm with
I
Dave on
think
this
you might be right. I think I'm just tripping.
I think I'm with Dave on
Yeah, no, just one line kind of maybe it just seems a little weird in a sense that they're talking about this again.
Cryptic, but not cryptic.
Yeah,
yeah. It's easy to read. It's easy on the eyes.
Yeah. So it's reiterating, what they're watching the good and evil entities, whether they be God or the devil or whatever in this universe, are watching the progress he makes, and they're wondering, which path he's going to take, because they're doing like I said earlier, they're doing the Job thing, and they're kind of I don't know, just playing with mortals and trying to see what they'll do.
Trying to sway him.
Yeah.
It's all about swaying opinion.
Yeah. So he's they both can't interfere with mortal affairs, clearly. So,
but they're doing
toying.
They're doing what they can. And they're watching.
Yeah.
And they're laughing when it's
yeah.
They're laughing when he fails.
They have the prophet dude that's can talk to him, I guess, but he's just a dude.
He's just a man with a crystal
He's
ball.
just a dude with a crystal ball.
All he can do.
Yeah.
Son of a seventh son.
So yeah, I mean, it talks. He's born. It talks about him being born. He's got the power to heal and the gift of the second sight, which I don't think he uses the power to heal much in this album. I could be wrong.
It's important to know that he has it though.
Yeah.
Because it really adds to his.
Maybe he can.
He's the seventh son of a seventh son. He doesn't just do one or the other.
Yeah.
He's not a one-trick pony.
Both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
He's that much more powerful, has that much more technical potential.
Yeah.
To be something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And it could also be that
And like it's just like if you're a listener and you ever listen to this song in full, that's what you have to like. There's long like instrumental pieces in this song.
Yeah, this is the longest.
And you have to listen to the lyrics and respond to the music in your own way. Like you have to think of like
Especially
evil
the
and
next
good,
track,
looking at
definitely.
this guy as like a human being, like, and what he's doing in his life, like. What are the decisions he's just making because that's what's going through his brain?
Yeah, and I assume that this is like a point in his life.
He's kind of living like an immortal life, just like you said. How the Hercules example.
He's at the point in his life where he has to decide.
He is basically being treated as a demigod type person, and evil and good both have stakes in his outcome. So they're both like looking like how can I meddle in this situation?
Yeah. And he's kind of towing the line between the two a little bit. You know, he's kind of you know, I'm gonna do my thing.
He's seeing what he can get out of it. He knows he's a cocky young kid.
Yeah.
And that's much he's a kid with a good heart, but he's a cocky young kid who's like, what can I get out of you guys? If I toe the line this way, what can I get out of you?
Well, it's like I don't even know. I think
master.
Well, I think that he's struggling with what is even right and wrong.
No, and that's part of the reason why he's doing it.
Yeah,
because he's trying to figure.
You have to deal with that.
He knows that he's important enough. I'm not going to say he knows he's that important, but he knows he's important enough that he has to know what is going on. That's why they're not just helping him all the time. He has to know.
Son. He's the low man totem pole. He's
exactly.
got to live up to his brother Greg, who builds bridges. I mean, he's got a lot to show.
He's got a lot to show.
Yeah, dude.
He has to know. He's walking
the
that
sixth
line,
born man. He's got to like
the wall. He has to climb back up that wall.
He's got to try to roll one up the sixth born and the fifth born.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got a business together. You know, they're a hit.
You know, the first guy got the first. You know, your oldest brother, he got the farm. The second brother got most of the land outside of the farm to build his own farm.
I feel like the first two or three brothers really get it good.
No, yeah, the first two in this type of situation, that's.
And God help you if you're a sister. And whatever
well,
this,
not
whatever
this family, because the son will never exist.
That's true. That's true.
So not in this family, but the other families.
So I wonder if it matters if you're the seventh daughter. You know, maybe there should be another.
If you're the seventh daughter, you're trying to put
some
them
female
off to the richest
like
person
metal band should like make a seventh daughter of the seventh daughter.
I think you're onto something.
I think I am onto something. We need to make a female.
Are you gonna make
Iron
a
Maiden.
modern seventh daughter of a seventh daughter, or are you gonna make like an old timey seventh daughter? Because an old timey seventh daughter of a seventh daughter is gonna be a little depressing.
I don't know.
But she'll have awesome powers.
I'm telling you, because it's if you have 7 daughters back then,
maybe they all married off to these other 7
one.
Well, you're right. I guess you're right. It would be. It wouldn't make sense if there was 6 sons and then a daughter. It wouldn't be the 7th daughter.
No, it'd have to be 7.
You'd have to have 7
she'd
daughters.
be the only daughter. That'd be.
Well,
this math is
all you
tweaking
gotta
me out
do
a
is
little
marry
bit.
her off.
The first 6 daughters would marry these other 7 sons, or 6 sons. So the 7th daughter would be just another prophet.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I would think so. Yeah.
I
want to listen to that album too.
Anyways,
but yeah, so
also called the Virgin Suicides.
Yes, the next track is getting into the prophecy. So let's hear some of that.
great prophecy.
Yeah, so that's we chose the section in that song that is really
It's guitar.
well. It's a really great
focuses on
guitar
the
riff,
music.
and it really explains what's
magic.
happening.
The interlude
in
of the song.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is the part where the prophet is telling him about like the things that are gonna happen and disaster and shit, and then like
He's trying to save the village.
yeah, and then I think this is where the disaster is hitting. You know, it's like a I don't know, Ahab kind of moment.
Could be anything.
You
Could
know.
be earthquake,
Yeah,
volcano.
it's like
Yeah,
the
some sort of.
Yoshimi battles with Pink Robots Part 2. You know, the second track. You know, it's like that. It was an instrumental track,
Yep.
and it really
chaotic sound.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So, but yeah, this is where it really brings in. I was saying earlier that it's kind of like Job, Jesus, and Noah, and this is where it gets real Noah-y. You know what I mean? Because
listen, there's something bad coming.
yeah, they're like stuff's coming, bad stuff's coming.
The original,
I see that it's gonna
Don't
come.
need no
like
stinking boat.
The original
Yeah.
Chicken. I always call it the original Chicken Little story. You know,
yeah.
everybody calls Chicken Little. Like, it's gonna rain and people are gonna die. That's what Noah was doing. He came out and he was
the
like,
sky is falling. The
sky
is falling.
it's gonna rain.
It falls
it's gonna
every night.
flood. People are going to die.
Yep,
And people
yep.
are just like, dumbass.
Yeah,
Go over there and beg for coins over there. And then he was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna do what the good Lord said. I'm gonna build an ark.
Yeah,
Get a bunch of animals on it. I'm gonna take my family.
yeah.
Y'all have fun drowning.
Yeah, and this
you're gonna
one
look at me
is-
crazy the whole
Animals don't
time.
judge me.
Well, and this is more like this is also kind of a little bit like Sodom and Gomorrah too. You know,
Fair enough.
I forget, was Sodom and Gomorrah also Noah?
No, Sodom and
That's-
Gomorrah was oh, what the hell?
Is that Abraham?
No.
Sorry, Dad, I can't remember right now.
Wait. No, you're right.
Is it Abraham?
Sodom and Gomorrah was Abraham because
Okay.
the good Lord was going to destroy
Good Lord.
Sodom and Gomorrah. But
Sorry,
he was
that
walking.
sentence.
He was walking with Abraham,
Yeah.
and Abraham was like, "But what if there's like one or two people that actually believe in you?"
You know, I don't.
And the good Lord was like, "Well, okay, fine. Then if there's one or two people, I'll spare the city. What if there's like 3 to 4 people?"
And then
Or maybe he went the opposite way.
Didn't one of didn't
point
he like
is,
offer
he-
his daughter or something? He's like,
Maybe
yo, you
in
can
the
take my
official
daughter.
story. Maybe in the
I
official
forget.
story.
It was
The story that was always taught to me was that Abraham helped sacrifice those cities because he was just like, well, what if there's like a couple people that actually believe in you? Like, are you gonna
Well, yeah,
kill the
I
whole
don't think.
city?
I was gonna say I don't think Abraham was calling the shots here.
No, he was asking. He was not. He
God
was
was
not
like, yo,
going to like.
I'm
please, sir.
He pushed his
destroying
luck.
this.
There might be
No,
a couple
no.
good
This
people
shit's
down
It's
there.
done.
one of those stories. It's one of those stories about pushing your luck. Is the way I always looked at it. Because it's one of those things where he was just like, okay, what's the next question I can ask you? Don't smite me. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, God was real. He was real
He was a real
angry.
hard-ass
He was
back
real
in the
angry
day.
back then.
He was a real hard
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
That's what it was. He loved us. He was just a hard ass.
He had a hard way of showing
You
it.
know? See,
Angry drunk dad from the 70s.
The reason why I was confused about your story at first is because there is the story of where somebody was
Why'd
like
you run over
promised
my
if he
bike? I
could
told
leave,
you don't
if he
leave
could
in the
leave with his
driveway.
family.
What?
Like something about like turning your head around. There's a story.
Oh
in the
well, yeah.
Bible
They would
about
turn
that.
into. That was the same story. They would turn into a pillar of salt.
Yes.
And his
And he looked
his
behind.
wifey at the time looked, and she turned into a pillar of salt.
Yes.
Yep,
And
I remember that one.
Oh,
I remember when there was a
Don't
TV
kids-
movie about it, and it was very graphic.
no kids are allowed to look up the story that happens right after that in the Bible. Don't look that up until you're 18 plus. I
Look it
promise.
up.
Man, aren't they young
Don't
and
do
reading
it.
that book?
Look
Don't
it
do
up
it.
now.
It's a whole. Oh,
So
that's why it's called Sodom and Gomorrah.
the prophecy. He's trying. So apparently, the devil knows this. There's this impending disaster because he's laughing about it. But I don't know why he knows. But I guess he was maybe the. Well, he is
Maybe
maybe
he did
the.
it,
He
initiated
is.
it?
Yeah, maybe he is the person that.
Maybe he wants these souls.
Yeah.
Down in Georgia.
With a fiddle in his hand.
Oh no, not not that whole thing.
No, I'm
What?
not going.
What is the
I'm
devil?
just saying though, the devil likes.
Why is the devil participating in these
He's
competitions?
got nothing better to do. He's
Because
done everything
that's
already.
what he does.
And
The
why is
devil
that all
makes
that it
deals.
takes?
The devil makes deals.
Man, after all
God,
these years,
God
But-
and his followers do not make deals.
whose-
The devil makes
Whose deals was he
though.
behind on?
We don't know.
Who does the devil answer
We
to?
don't know.
This was
History is full of confusing
Paul F. Tompkins
things.
bit,
We don't know.
so no one chastises me on
There's
the internet.
things you can really take a good, educated 80% guess on. But there's human decisions throughout history that we will never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know who was really like influenced by who.
I really think the devil
Sometimes
had...
evil things turn out good. Sometimes good
Yes.
things turn out evil.
Okay.
Yes. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I know. I was just saying we need
No,
to
you're right.
we need to
You're
center
right.
it to the song.
We need to bring it back.
But it talks about purgatory, life and death, heaven, hereafter. So this is the part though that I get a little confused about, because he says, I had their lives in my hands, their fate, their fortunes in my vision. No believed in my true prophecy, and now it's too late.
So
he
that's
saw
why
that.
that's why I say the last, like, this verse is him, like, he's kind of standing there, like, with his hands, like, he's standing there with his hands, like, before his face, right? And he's just like, I saw this happening, and I tried to tell them. No one believed in me.
Do you think this
And
is
now
just
they're all
him,
dead.
like,
Or not even
like
dead,
beating
but, like,
himself up about
yes,
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my, like, because he we've seen him as, like, an unruly teenager. He did the whole thing where he was a dick in certain situations. He used his power. He used his power for both good and evil in his entire life.
Yeah.
And this time,
what was he
he
doing?
tried to unselfishly use his powers
But back
to
in high
help
school,
a village.
Back in high school, though, what was he doing?
Well, that was the part of the song that, like,
I think that
was, like, the musical, like, interludes. And I just see him, sometimes when you're a kid, you do stupid things when you have the ability.
sometimes you
Just blow up a mailbox with the fireworks.
Sometimes you just
And
ask
sometimes
the
those
question.
stories don't just get written down. Oh!
Sorry.
Sometimes you can.
I was trying to set it up, but
I know.
I just had to pull the trigger.
Yes.
And that just needs to be bun from here on out during the podcast. Just
Right?
randomly drop
Yes,
that.
I agree. I'm going to put this in at the end of every list so that we have it.
And to the fellow listeners, just always ask that random question.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Like,
why not?
sometimes
Can I?
Can I play with madness? Can I?
Can I?
It's a good question.
I do love.
It's a very
playing
good
with
question.
Everyone
questions.
should ask that question.
We got a couple tracks left. This was the prophecy, but now is the clairvoyant.
There's a time to live and a time to die. When it's time to meet the maker. There's a time to live, but isn't it strange that as soon as you're born, you die? There's a time to live and a time to...
Oh yeah. A lot of people have probably heard that. That's a pretty famous. This is probably the most famous of the tracks on this album. If I were to pick one, I mean, this is the one that I had heard before, and I'm not hugely familiar with all of their discography. But yeah, this is a track where he's I don't know, he's kind of like contemplating stuff after the fact. I don't know. Like, it's a really triumphant song, which is
it is
weird since he just failed or
the
whatever.
banger.
Yeah.
But can he control it? Can he trust what he sees?
Yeah.
What's real?
Yeah.
Is it real? Is it fake? Is it?
Yeah.
He
Well,
just
like,
doesn't
it makes me
know.
wonder, like,
he's
did
in
he see
he's in a stage of
version...
uncertainty.
Well, I was going to say, did he see also a version of events that was not disaster? You know what I mean? Was there maybe one of the futures that didn't end in disaster that, he feels bad about not...
He might have had multiple visions, and he chose, like, again, choosing.
I think that
he
there
chose his way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that there could be like a multiple what am I trying to say? Almost like a multi-dimensional parallel story thing that could be told. Like, there's a point in this album where you could like take a different turn and like make a typical Bible story. The typical Bible story where the protagonist is, goes through some hardships, but ultimately,
Makes
continues
the right decision.
I wouldn't say makes the right
Well,
decision as much as
that's-
continues the
that's-
line of Christianity.
That's what hard Christians would say.
No,
Okay?
I understand.
I think
I
about that
understand.
from my dad's perspective sometimes.
No.
Like that's
I understand.
in my
I'm
head.
just-
That's
I'm just a
the
stickler.
first thing that comes. I understand, and that's like, but that's like where my broad mind
Yeah.
goes with Vern and the whole Christianity aspect that he gave me as a child.
Yeah.
Was that
Well, like I always
you just
thought
made
of
the right decision.
For me, I always thought of the Old Testament as like a bunch of like kind of stories of guys failing a lot and like kind of what not to do for the most part.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No,
where
'cause,
Jesus
like-
was more about, hey, do shit like me. They were more like,
Hey,
they
be cool,
they
man.
failed
No,
a lot,
see-
and like that was kind of the thing is like they failed, and that was part of their lesson learning experience at the expense of those around them.
See, I always,
know what I mean?
I always say, Jesus was the hippie son
Yeah.
of God. He
Uh-huh.
was he was born of a human being, and of divine blood.
Yeah.
And there's like 10 years of his history, by the way, that like is not officially
Uh-huh.
recorded down. It's
Yes.
recorded. It's out there, but it's not officially
The
recorded
Apocryphas.
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And but like
that's a
the
different
point is when
Yeah.
he comes out of it, he comes out of it as the type of human being to want to just heal and understand and not
Yeah, it's like a reverse Jesus situation.
exactly.
That's
Exactly.
kind of what I was getting at. But yeah, this kind of has a little more like he's now like, you know, he can control his
playing
powers.
with this thing.
Yeah, he can control his powers. He knows how they work. He just doesn't know.
What is this thing called?
But yeah, Dave, what are your thoughts on this point in the album?
Well, I'll bring up the fact that from Steve Harris, it was inspired by the death of a psychic, Doris Strokes, and I was wondering
Okay.
if she could truly see the future, would she have seen her own death?
Oh,
So that's
okay.
They bring this into the fact where
Yeah, so that's what inspired kind of this
bit of the song.
Yeah, this bit. That's
Of
what I kind of
the
like about
clairvoyant,
this
like,
is
he could, but he had so
Yeah.
many visions that he doesn't know
Uh-huh.
what's true or what's not. So can he see it? Can he not see it? Is this how it's going to play out? He doesn't know because there's so many that he's can't
Yeah.
decide what's real or not.
That
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
brain is so like
yeah.
so complicated sometimes.
But also
Yeah.
that one of the great lines was, as soon as you're born, you're dying, because the clock starts going and
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Just that's what aging is.
Well, yeah,
It's a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
yeah,
see it in every
there's-
other species on the planet as well. You know?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's I don't know, this song it definitely ends in a kind of sad way, and he doesn't quite succeed, and he kind of lets himself fade away a little bit, you know. But yeah, he kind of reintroduces that idea though at the very end of reincarnation, being born again, which is like, you know, the second time I think that they mention it. Yeah, so
I feel like these are part of his predictions as well.
yeah,
You
I
know,
think
like, that's where-
I think that he maybe will be
He can
born
see-
as
he can
another
see every
seventh
kind of-
son maybe in the future, and then maybe that time around he'll do better. He'll succeed. I don't know. You know what I mean?
There's always an asylum.
Otherwise, what?
It's the idea that if you're like reborn 3 times in good lives, that you'll get like the ultimate like afterlife.
Huh. Interesting. Is that from Catholicism, or is that from
No,
what is that from?
It's kind of
Not
like from
Catholicism.
Greek
I was gonna say,
mythology.
wait, no,
a little bit.
Catholicism doesn't have
No.
reincarnation.
A little bit more from Greek Roman mythology.
Okay.
man, it's like the turkey.
Yeah. It's just like the turkey.
3 strikes,
Yeah.
but it's something good.
Yeah.
You're not out, you're in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So this is
the ultimate. It's the ultimate strike.
yeah. So but this is getting to the end of his life though.
Not out, but just
Yeah.
probably either just worn out or not physically dead. Just
he's definitely disillusioned.
Probably a little manic, a little crazy. Just
He's still dealing with what's coming in his head.
He's got a lot of heavy shit going on.
Yeah, like if in the Bible story with Noah or whatever, like he didn't succeed or
I'd imagine his timeline. Like
I will always say Noah must have been a little crazy because because he had to have so many people be like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah,
it doesn't rain in like 30 days. It's coming, man.
Yeah,
Punk,
yeah.
It's coming, I swear. Punk, punk, punk.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what he's facing too. You know.
Exactly.
So, one between the time of like the story of the village where he saw the impending doom, could he prevent it? And to now, there's a time has there been a lot of things he's been going through? Has he seen a lot of things?
Yeah.
Try to jump
Maybe
in and
he
save
knows,
or back off and how many.
It's true. There could be bad things happening that he's ignoring at this point.
This long line of things he's seen and could have.
Yeah, maybe he's just kind of watching each bad thing happen.
Just losing it just from everything he keeps seeing.
Yeah. So let's get to the last track here. This is "Only the Good Die Young."
Not the one you're thinking of.
Not the one you're thinking of.
Not the happy one.
Oh man, I'm glad. So that was a not lyric heavy section or anything.
A lot of the songs are hard to pick. It's this is so good. This is a good lyric, but
it was all very 50-50.
Yeah. I'm glad we chose a lot of the riffs though. I love the fucking riffs on this album. But that one in particular, we
made a lot of smart decisions.
It's got let's pat ourselves on the back. We did really well, guys.
We did.
It's that part has just the galloping bass. You know what I mean?
Horse riding.
Yeah.
You really feel like you're going.
Yeah, and it really makes me think of the horse. Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. You know what I mean? I think that's what they're kind of trying to get at maybe with the sound there. Because I don't know, to introduce horsemen at the end of this, having already talked about Revelation, I think that might be intentional.
Not to mention the ending.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Let's start with the beginning though. This song starts with a real extreme line.
Oh boy.
Strapping.
Trigger warning right here.
It's a little
it starts
tense.
off says
Just
the demon in your mind will rape you in your bed at night.
Will rape you.
They're not fucking around with the song. The wisdom of the ages, the lies and outrages concealed. So yeah, he's definitely bitter and old about bitter about his clairvoyance and all that. You know what I mean?
It's weird on him. It's weird on him.
Yeah.
Just a tweet.
Yeah, he's kind of accepted that even though he can see stuff, time apparently waits for no man. He can see the future, but he can't stop it from occurring.
He could tell the person exactly what to do to prevent it, and something else is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why futures. Anyways,
it's like Heroes season 1.
It's predetermined, but it's not. It's so weird.
Yeah,
History's weird.
But what I kind of like about this is it kind of at the end he's also kind of saying fuck you to the powers that be a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's he flies in the face of prophets and he mocks their morality plays. So he's kind of given up his chosen one life for a normal life. Then the world has suffered because of it, but he's I'm not going to play your games, I guess. You know what I mean? So he's trying to, I guess, look at it the best that he can.
Evil's always going to live, but good's always going to strive. It's a whole thing. I'm just going to let it be.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't end with a positive note. You know, like it's definitely ends with like
the way it all
makes
plays
you
out
think.
as you read through the track list, or not the track list, the lyrics.
Yeah,
I believe he is not chosen to be good, chosen to be bad, because only good die young. All the evil seems to live forever. Because if you keep that in mind and read through the rest of the lyrics, it just seems like he's just going that way. Is like, fuck it.
Well, you know, by the end of this, I don't think that he's even good or evil. You know, I think
he's done both at this point.
I think that he's I don't know, like he's tried to prevent something, which is good. He's, you know, he did stop trying to prevent things, but it doesn't seem like he's actively done evil in this storyline. You know what I mean?
Actually, but
it
I think
seems
he's
like
just not
I think
being
it's
the good guy anymore.
Yeah, exactly. He's more of a like anti-hero, I
He's
guess, at
just
this point.
He just,
you know,
he tells people things now.
he's like
When
he's like,
they approach him, otherwise he just keeps it to himself.
Yeah. He's kind of he's a middle character in those stories, and it's, you know, this is that's kind of cool because it doesn't end in a black or white kind of sense, where a lot of these kinds of like biblical stories are very, you know, morality black and white. This is more of a what if that chosen one story ended with chosen one saying no, you know.
And that is always something fascinating to think about, to be honest with you. Because
Yeah.
those aren't the stories that get, you know, the winner always, you know, writes the history books, you know.
Well, and
But it's great
generally,
to think about that.
generally in history, they like the, you know, well, I don't know, that's a vague statement, but you know, there's these black and white kind of right and wrong morality things that if you just look at the surface of them, they're just about right and wrong, even though there might be some deeper stuff that
Might be gray areas, but there's mostly.
But yeah, there's
for the most part, especially like the way a lot of Americans were raised, you know, it was it was pretty black and white. There was a lot of things that were just
and and you know, morality isn't, it's usually that black and white, you know. It's usually pretty gray.
There's a lot more gray than we were ever taught.
Yeah.
In school, kids.
Yeah, but this is saying that the evil seems to live forever. You know what I mean?
But that's kind of
we were saying earlier, I think maybe before we got into this recording, that there's kind of that theme that not just the evil live longer than the good, but that the evil that
It's
they
the
do,
mark they leave.
Yeah, the mark that they leave lasts for a long time.
See, like
longer
that's
than the good.
Yeah,
I remember it for.
Yeah,
I've always felt like the fight for good is the fight, because evil just exists otherwise. You know, death, mania, disease, all that stuff. That stuff's just going to exist. That's, you know, that's gonna happen. Whether there's sentient beings on the planet or not.
Yeah,
I mean, the sentient beings really is like the moral fist punch of good, because again, good always exists. You know, the planet's always gonna have, like, you know, yin and yang, but at the same time, you know, the forces of light, of true light, are the sentient being on the planet that decides to fight. Some of the things, you know?
Yeah. There's always going to be people. I mean, we just we need to stop putting people that want to control other people in power. You know, but
we were taught that for so long, though.
That's well, yeah, for sure. It's ingrained in our society, but this is
Anyways.
but this
We try.
Yeah. But yeah, he doesn't quite. But yeah, I love that he just kind of decides to, you know, tap out. He's like, no, I'm not gonna participate in this. And then it gets back to the reincarnation stuff a little bit. Here is death another birthday? You know, a way to kiss your dreams goodbye. You know, kind of a place of peace.
Give it another start.
Yeah. Or do the undead live within us and look through our eyes? So another reincarnation line. So I think that he's
Do
definitely
you decide
kind of
to get reincarnated, or do you decide to like wait your undead justice?
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's gonna do his own thing. Apparently, seventh son is gonna do his own thing.
So I think I'll leave you with your bishops and your guilt. So until next time, have a good sin.
Yeah. He's gonna enjoy himself, I guess.
7 deadly sins, 7 ways to win,
And then the Jack Black
7
outro.
honey paths to hell.
But before we end this though, I just got a couple of quick questions for you guys.
Yeah.
Can I play with madness?
Always.
Yes.
Also, what are you guys listening to these days? What have you been listening to, Dave?
I got stuck on a Tom Waits kick for about a good week.
Nice. My mom's been listening to a lot of Tom Waits.
Just ballers and bastards and good times.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with Tom Waits. What about you, John?
Well, seeing as how it's December 10th, I'm listening to Christmas music all day, all night.
Any favorite Christmas albums?
Oh yes. Actually, there is a. It's called Twisted Christmas.
Oh, from Twisted Sister?
No.
Or-
Actually, no. It's what the hell are they called?
That's what I thought right away.
The Bob Rivers like traveling company or something like that.
Okay.
And they do mock you Christmas songs. So they take like classic Christmas songs, but then they make their own lyrics to it. But it's all comedy based.
Okay.
So it's very good. They do a rendition of the 12 Days of Christmas, but it's called the 12 Pains of Christmas.
Nice.
And it's very funny.
Hell yeah.
It's very funny. The last the first 4 guys that come in.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to listen to the last verse.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll check it
so
out.
funny.
Nice. I've been listening to some Quasimodo lately. It's a hip hop dude. And I've been getting into Paul McCartney's discography, going through the first 3 or 4 albums. So I've been diving into some of that. Paul McCartney letting loose without the Beatles.
So for a couple local things, I think it's next week, Wednesday, Brother Ali.
Okay.
Playing at the High Noon. If you'd like rap, definitely check him out.
Yes.
Then,
Go to their next show.
Yes.
Because this is going to be later.
Exactly. But just check out
Go to the next Brother Ali show, yes.
But for a local Madison, Waylon St. Palin and the Magic Elves. It's
Nice.
Nate from the hometown does his Christmas show every year,
Yeah.
which is a fantastic show. If you want Christmas music, you want a good time,
Okay. Yeah.
check out Waylon St. Palin and the Magic Elves.
Okay. All right. Sounds
Every
good.
year, every December.
Every December.
Every year.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I just got a few plugs to get out of the way. I got some episodes of Rolling Stone coming out, more and more. You will probably have heard the Christmas special. If you haven't already, go back and listen to that. It's a lot of fun. And keep on listening to this every other Monday, and we'll keep pumping them out. But thanks for joining us on the Album Concept Hour, and join us next time for Thanks for listening. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, John Aker, and John Griffiths. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Please like us on Facebook or friend us on Twitter or MySpace and let us know what concept album you would like to hear on the podcast. See you on Side B. This has been a Revolver Audio production. Executive producer Brad LeBaron. For more podcasts, visit soundcloud.com/revolveraudio, or to support new content, visit co-fi.com/revolveraudio.